competition that always made him the number one player to stop. His pursuit of excellence was inspirational. Tom was professional on and off the field and carried himself with class, integrity, and kindness. I thank Tom for his relentless pursuit of excellence and positive impact on me and the New England Patriots for 20 years. That's from the No Kidding Sherlock files. Then Brady responded on his IG story with, "Thank you, Coach Belichick. I appreciate being coached by you, the greatest coach in NFL history." With 3 heart emojis. 3 heart emojis. Best friends forever. Back here with Chris Mortensen and Brady's former teammate, 2-time Super Bowl champion Damien Woody. Damien, before we get to Belichick's statement, what was your reaction to Brady's announcement earlier this week?
Well, listen, I mean, what more could the man do? 44 years old. In my opinion, he was the league MVP. I mean, the numbers that he put up, and for him to go out, man, the way he went out without any type of cliff, without any type of cliff in his play, it just speaks volumes to the type of competitor and the player that we're talking about. And he's the greatest, man. He's the greatest, no doubt.
I'll just point out that Ty Law was on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on the morning on ESPN Radio this morning and said that he thinks I extended Brady's career by several years just to prove me wrong. So it turns out, Damien, that in fact I might be the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL somehow. All right. Mort, many wonder if Belichick can get back to the promised land, right? Like, he was a guy, I always thought it was more Belichick than Brady. I was not correct. Maybe it was equal parts, I don't know. But at the very least, it wasn't more Belichick than Brady. Can he get back? Like, is it enough for him just to show that he can win, get to the playoffs with a Mac, or does he need to get back to the Super Bowl to make a point here?
Well, let me say this. In the beginning, it was more Belichick than Brady. I mean, Tom Brady, listen, I give Belichick and his staff all of the credit for nurturing Tom Brady to become what he has become. A quarterback that we acknowledge as unparalleled in what he has achieved in terms of winning championships. They had a defense, they had a running game, and then Tom Brady eventually grew out of that, and you give him all that type of credit. Can he go win another Super Bowl? The feeling around the league is it's Bill Belichick. This is a guy who knows how to build an organization. But no longer does he have free reign in the AFC East because there is a team in Buffalo with an excellent front office, an excellent head coach, and a beast of a quarterback in Josh Allen, who's only 25 years old, that creates formidable obstacles for him to get back to the Super Bowl. So different obstacles, but I don't think there's any question from talking to other coaches and GMs around the leagues that they expect Belichick to be very viable in terms of contending.
Damien, I don't want to hear it's both and all that nonsense. The greatest sports debate in the 21st century, because this Tom Brady, Bill Belichick thing has spanned so far the entire 21st century to this moment, basically, right? It's Jordan and LeBron, but no one will ever know, and the answer is Jordan. And then the other thing is, was it more Brady or Belichick? Brady won the Super Bowl his first year without Belichick. Did he prove that it was more him? And does Belichick need to win one to get back even with Tom Brady?
Well, listen, I mean, the argument is going to be made that it's more Brady than Belichick because Brady left the Patriot way and took it down to Tampa and won one. But, Max, Tom Brady wouldn't have been Tom Brady without Bill Belichick. He had to develop Tom Brady in order to nurture him, in order for him to become the player and the guy that we ultimately know as the GOAT right now. So, yes, you probably could give the slight edge to Tom Brady if that's the way you want to play it. But, both of those guys are just the greatest of all time, in my opinion.
First of all, Damien and Mort, I see you rolling your eyes. Both of you, you think that I'm infuriating. You're both making me sick right now. Let me tell you something, guys. What do you think in bars, on street corners, in schools, at water coolers, online for the next however many decades, people are going to end their arguments by going, well, they were both great. That's not what this is about. People want to know this is sports. We want a hierarchy. Mort, I'm quick because I'm busting through a stoplight right now.
Oh, well, let me just say this. Damien mentioned this. I have an MVP vote. It has to be cast at the end of the regular season. I voted for Tom Brady, and I can justify it. Move on to your next question. I know you got one for me.
Yes, you can. Actually, we have to move it along. But you know what? I don't care what they say, regular season, whatever. I look at playoffs before I decide who was the best player that year. I can't give it to Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady. Brady very nearly beat the Rams. Thank you, guys.
Jim Harbaugh returning to Michigan. But how excited should Big Blue be to have him back? And the stalemate that lingers on. 1 week away from the trade deadline, are the Sixers making a mistake by not trading Ben Simmons? But first, we begin with Brian Flores, who's still in the running for the Saints and Houston Texans job, considering all the question marks surrounding Deshaun Watson's status with the double-digit lawsuits filed against him and how David Culley didn't really receive a fair shake as head coach. Should Flores really want that Texans job? And for that, we bring in our Dan Orlovsky. Where is he? Let me see him. Vegas. Dan, how we doing? Dan, you going to see any shows while you're out there? Because I just want to let you know, John Legend is there, Carrie Underwood. I'm a fan of both.
Mm-hmm. Not going to see any shows, Molly. I actually have to work out here, so I'll be doing a lot of that.
Oh, that'll be the worst. You working? Looks like you already got a tan. So I don't know how much working you're doing.
I might gamble a little bit. I might throw a couple shekels down on a couple roulette wheels. Always hit on 16 World, so we'll see.
Whoa.
The Pro Bowl.
What the? The Pro Bowl. I was like,
the Pro Bowl.
Why is he in Vegas?
Yeah.
Why is he in Vegas?
Yeah.
No, I'm not vacationing, Stephen A.
Yeah.
No.
All right. I'll just check.
Before we move on, though, I'm not buying that you are doing a little bit of pool time, but it's okay.
Go lose some money playing blackjack. blackjack.
I'll ask you for a Venmo then.
You know, we know you're cheap. You can lose $100 though. You can lose $100.
He's right. He's right. I am.
That's right.
I am.
That's right.
I told my wife and my kids I'd gamble a little bit for them. But that's about it.
$100.
I'm sure your wife was really grateful.
$100?
You'll gamble her money a little bit. Come on, Dan.
$20. $20 max.
Get it
$20
together.
max.
Yeah, enjoy the pool. Keep pretending to work. We'll be out there for the draft. Stephen A., your thoughts though on if Brian Flores should want that Texans job after what we just saw, what happened with David Culley and everything going on in the organization.
Hell no. He should want to avoid that job at all costs. Look, Nick Caserio. That was his first year as a GM. My question to him is, why didn't you fire yourself? You didn't get, Deshaun Watson couldn't play, okay? We all knew that. We all knew what situation David Culley was walking into. You hired him, and the only thing you did was make sure that he was going to get his money over the next 3 years, which I respect, but that's ownership. That ain't you. Nick Caserio sat up there, brought in David Culley, and then made him a scapegoat because of a job he didn't do. So to me, he should have fired himself before he even thought about firing David Culley. Everybody applauded the hard work, the commitment that those players put forth and how every single week they fought, they scratched, they clawed. That's what we were talking about when we talked about the Houston Texans. And we said it's a damn shame that David Culley has to deal with this situation because clearly they weren't the same without Deshaun Watson. I mean, you got Davis Mills and Tyrod Taylor and cats like that. I mean, David Mills, he started 11 of the games, went 2-9. We understand what the man was working with. And so when I look at it from that perspective, and you got a GM that clearly is not accepting accountability, your first year on the job, you knew how to find a scapegoat. I mean, damn, you didn't even wait until you acquired some experience to figure out how to get scapegoats. You just came out the womb finding scapegoats.